My name is Nicos, and I'm going to show you my time signal, okay?
When Thomas first came to the big station, he was a cheeky little engine with no experience and not very good manners. He liked to play tricks on other engines, and sometimes play tricks on the other engines. Sometimes he would rush to finish a job quickly and make a careless mistake. He thought that no engine worked as hard as he did. Thomas had a lot to learn before he became a really useful engine. One day, Thomas was shunting coaches in the yard. But he didn't think that pushing coaches around was a very important job, and he decided to play a trick on Gordon instead. When Gordon came chugging into the yard, Thomas steamed out from behind a tree and overturned a truck full of cement right in front of Gordon's wheels. Gordon was stuck. "Now I cannot pull the express," he grumbled. Thomas just laughed and laughed. "Peep, peep, peep." The joke did not seem quite so funny when Sir Topham Hatt came marching up with an angry look on his face. "Thomas, where are the coaches?" he demanded. "People all over Sodor will be really upset if the express is late. Everyone expects this railway to be really reliable and right on time." Then Sir Topham Hatt hurried off to see if Henry could pull the express. "I'm sorry, Gordon," said Thomas. "I thought my trick would be funny." And he quickly went to get the coaches that he was supposed to have lined up early. As he raced off, Thomas could hear Gordon still grumbling. "Cheeky little engine." Thomas worked quickly to get all the coaches. "Hurry, hurry," he pleaded. "The express is going to be late." Thomas shoved all the coaches into place just as Henry was ready to go. The express was off just in the nick of time. When the commotion was over and Gordon was unstuck and clean, Thomas got a good talking to. Sir Topham Hatt said, "Really useful engines do not play tricks when they have some work to do. Shunting coaches may not seem important, but it is. If the coaches are not lined up properly, the passengers cannot ride the railway. But I am pleased that you worked hard to correct your mistake and get the express going on time. Really useful engines take their duties seriously, and you have learned that every job is important." After that, Thomas worked very hard. He only played after his work was done, but he wished that he could pull coaches filled with passengers instead of just pushing empty coaches around the yard. One morning, Thomas's wish was granted. Henry was too sick to pull his morning route, and Thomas was the only engine left in the station. "You'll have to pull Henry's train, Thomas," said Sir Topham Hatt. "We're counting on you, and no tricks." "Yes, sir." Thomas hurried away. He just knew he could do his job. Thomas hopped eagerly into the station where the coaches and the passengers were waiting. "Calm down, Thomas," said his driver. "Really useful engines are patient and careful with their work." But Thomas didn't pay him any mind. He quickly backed up to the coaches. Then, without waiting for the all-clear signal, he chugged off out of the station. Thomas puffed along the line. He was very proud of himself. When he reached the stop signal, he slowed down in a huff. "Why should a speedy train like me have to wait for a pesky signal?" he thought. "Peep, peep," he whistled impatiently. The signal man came running out. "Hello, Thomas. What are you doing out of the yard?" he asked. "Can't you see? I'm pulling Henry's coaches," peeped Thomas. "I don't see any coaches," replied the signalman. Thomas's driver looked over his shoulder. There were no coaches. Thomas had left them behind at the station. Thomas was so disappointed that he almost cried. "Don't worry, Thomas," said his driver. "We'll go back and get the coaches straight away." Thomas went back and got the coaches. He waited until all the coaches were properly hitched. Soon they were back on schedule. At each station, Thomas was very careful to let all the passengers off and on. "Thank you, Thomas," they said. Beep, beep. When Thomas got back to the yard that night, he was very tired. Pulling coaches was harder than he had thought. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for him, and he was trying not to smile. "You did just fine, Thomas, once you remembered to get the coaches." Sir Topham Hatt chuckled. "More important, you learned something really special, that really useful engines are patient as well as speedy." Beep, beep.
Hi, my name's Nico, and I'm gonna video my thumbstick, okay? Now you're gonna go like that. Goodbye.